Okay, everyone, so here we go. We are back here in NHL 26 with the Vancouver Canucks for this franchise mode series that we are in right now. We are currently on January 18th, 2027 in this game. This is our, I guess, first full season, but second season with the team. In the last episode, we started the season. We simulated all the way to this point. We made some changes to our team by adding, I believe, Dmitry Orlov to the back end, which is helping us out a little bit. But as the episode kind of ended, we kind of went on a little low point here. In our last 10, we're 4-6. Not the best, but we are still holding a playoff spot here, as you kind of see there on the right side of your screen. We're battling for a wild card spot. But we're not far from second in the division, so it's not out of the reach just yet. But we're going to basically kind of sim here, I think, all the way to the end of the regular season at least. We are going to be going through the trade deadline point of this season. In this episode, we also have to do a bit of our scouting, which we have to do in 2 days' time in-game. So we're going to get that going as well. Yeah, basically, that's basically it. One thing I am going to do before we even move on here, I'm actually going to, if I have not done it yet, actually switch Elias Pettersson's lines. I did not like the way he was playing on the top line in the first half of the season. I've not felt that he has put up the best season possible, especially a guy that we were paying $11.6 million. So I'll do that, and then we'll kind of just move on from here. And I think the next time you'll see this, we'll have that line change done. I'm also going to sim at least the game against Seattle, because I got to do the scouting thing right away on the 20th, so I'll be doing that. And then we could just kind of flow right through all the way to basically the trade deadline, because that's the next thing kind of on our event list, basically. So with that, let's get into this one. Okay, everyone, so I returned to you now on this draft page. We just did on all the scouting. This time around, we're doing all the potential and comparisons for all the players that we are going to scout, which takes a lot of the year. It takes basically, well, to get the players that we've already have scouted it takes till about June 1st or just before then. So we don't really know what the full potential of these players are until then. So we won't be touching on this basically until the season is over. But as of right now, I mean, it's looking quite good. I'm just going to see. I don't know if I did this in the last episode, but what is our... Okay, so we got one gem. Bedrick Furtak. And he's pick number... expected to go around 49. I'll pin him just to watch him, but also to note that we have 3 busts. I don't really like that at all. And one of them is in our area. So we'll just be careful about that. But, I mean, we won't really know where to really go with this draft class up until, the time comes. But, yeah, it doesn't look that bad for right now. We're in a playoff spot, so we're looking in this area. Again, we're going to kind of go off what we had last year, where we kind of just looked at what our scouts thought. And if our scouts thought they were good, we kind of lean that way. Also, if their skill, grades were also pretty good compared to players around them, we'd probably go that way as well. So that's kind of our plan for right now. And so we've now reached January 20th. We've done everything that we kind of had to do leading up to this point. We actually did win the game against Seattle there, which was very, very nice. But basically, there's not much left to do. Is there an Olympic break in the second year? No, there's not. So there's no Olympic break, even though, well, I guess there's an All-Star Week break, but there's no Olympic break. But yeah, like our next big event to look out for in this series is March 6th, which is the trade deadline. Obviously, as we, kind of mentioned in the last episode, we're kind of going to try and bulk up our defense. We only have, now only two defensemen with an X factor. So I'm kind of hoping that we could gather a couple more. One issue we had trading for Dmitry Orlov was a lot of our defense have no move clauses. And that did not help us out one bit. So that's kind of what we're kind of hoping for at the deadline. Also a bottom 6 player as well, maybe. But right now at January, we're doing okay. And so what I'll probably do is just sim to the end of January, see how we're doing there. And I'll probably sim all the way to our game here on the 8th before Buffalo, after, I guess, the All-Star week. But we'll do that. And We'll see where we're at come February 8th. How about that? Okay, everyone. So we are now in February. We have 8 games in this month. We have 10 games to go until the trade deadline, but 8 games in this month of February. Once again, I'll probably just sim on through here. The end of January was okay. We had, the loss to the Mammoth, and then we won back-to-back games pretty well against the Canadiens and the Blues. But you could kind of tell, again, we just kind of had a bit of a slump, and I feel like you could tell which games we've lost because of our backup goalie situation. If you missed it in the last episode, Kevin Lankinen went down, and we won't see him till March. So we have our backup in his Tolopio or something like that. And he's only won 2 games out of the 11 he's played. So it's not really pretty. But once again, we'll sim on through this month, see what pops up. But I think we're going to kind of maybe look at trades once we're done this sim. So I'll sim all the way to the end of February here, the 28th. And then maybe we can take a look at the trade block and see where we can go maybe heading into this trade deadline. Okay, everyone, here we are, February 28th, the last day of the month. Once again, we've just kind of had this end of month kind of low spell, but we've come back. I believe we won our last 3 games. We sit in a wild card spot currently, but look at the LA Kings. If you see it on the Pacific Division there at the top, they have done very, very well recently, and they have pulled away from the Flames and us and the Ducks. But we're kind of in a tight race right now. Even if you look at the Central Division below us there on the right side there, the Jets, who are sitting second last in the division, have 62 points, only 4 less than we do. So it's kind of a tight race right now. When it comes to the Western Conference. We are a week away from the trade deadline, a big part of what this episode will kind of maintain. And we, once again, as I've mentioned at the start of the year, we're basically looking for bolstering up our defensive line. So we kind of have to look for a defenseman that has some, I think we remember looking at Radko Gudas. We need a defenseman with X factors and that fits in our line set. I'd also maybe like a bottom pairing guy would be nice too. I would like a bottom pairing guy, just simply because I believe that we kind of do, because we have a 77 overall right now as our 6th defenseman, which is not really good at all, but I think that's kind of what we got to aim for, but it's not the easiest thing to do here. So I'm just trying to look for something. Now I know the lower teams here like had better players like Thomas Chabot, but Thomas Chabot has that no trade clause, so we can't move him. So yeah, this could be a tough role to fit for sure. Oh, but Mario Ferraro was, I think, one of those players I could be looking at here. I think Mario Ferraro could be one of those guys for sure. So once again, I will have my eyes set on Vince Dunn here. Although Seattle was very, very, very greedy, if you remember with Vince Dunn, at how much they wanted to offer for him. I think we could do it. We definitely could do it. I believe we had the money to do it. But they were just being really, really, really greedy with us. But like I just said, we could possibly throw together like a trade with Mario Ferraro, and like I don't know what would be better is if we went with Claude Giroux or a Drake Batherson. I feel like it could work. The only issue is Giroux has better trade value, or like, for having a low trade value. He has a low trade value, but the higher salary, while Batherson, on the other hand, has the higher trade value, but the lower contract salary amount. So it's kind of like a 50-50 on those two. I wouldn't mind Giroux to take some faceoffs, but just to have as a lower line winger, especially for a guy who technically fits on our third line, I would take Batherson for sure. Even Giroux to be on the top line. Why did Giroux go? Even Giroux to be on our top line. I mean, and penalty killing line too. That could also help us as well, considering our penalty kill has kind of dropped in the last couple of months. I would kind of take that as well. So we'll see what happens come trade deadline. But I think I might try and pull this with the Sens, even a day before maybe, to try and push something. But we'll have to see in a couple of days' time whether if we can make that move or not. All right, everyone, we are here in the proposed trade screen. It's a day before the trade deadline. I am going to attempt to maybe make that trade with the Sens. I'm going to see what we can do. They have it looks like they have some leeway when it goes to salary. When we dealt with Seattle earlier and also San Jose, it was really tough to deal with them because of they were low on the cap. So it was very tough for us to try and make a trade. But we're going to try and do something here. I don't really know which way to really go. If we're giving up a defenseman, I'd like to give up a defenseman back, although it might be really tough. But I'm going to try and cook something up here, and I'll come back when I hopefully have an answer. Okay, boys and girls, I'm hoping that this one works. We're going to be throwing in the defenseman Elias Pettersson and Jaden Schwartz, our second-round pick, and the Leafs' fourth-round pick in 2028 for Mario Ferraro and Drake Batherson. Now, my thinking around this is, look, Elias Pettersson is our backup defenseman, okay? So we don't really lose too much there for Mario Ferraro. So that's kind of like the one-for-one per se, right? The thing is about Jaden Schwartz going. Now, we signed him in the offseason simply because I wanted a good player, but we couldn't get one with X factors, and no one wanted to come our way. Jaden Schwartz kind of accepted that offer, was on the third line, put up some decent stats for a third-line player. I don't mind that too much, but just the way he fit on our lines was not really good enough. I'm hoping, if they accept this, Drake Batherson can come in and fit on that third line. Plus, he has X factors. So it's kind of like a win-win situation for sure for us there. We're getting a defenseman who can fit on our top six with an X factor, but also having a forward come in, be at least an offensive threat on one of our lines with X factors as well. So I'm kind of hoping for that. The draft picks, I mean, that's just to even out the value here. I still don't know if it's even or not. But if they don't accept this, I might have to add in a higher round pick or maybe an extra one as well. So hopefully we'll see this one go through. No. Okay. Okay, everyone. I'm really going crazy now. I'm going to try adding our first this year. Hopefully we make the playoffs. We better make the playoffs. And our second next year for a 2027 sixth rounder too. I've added that in there. If they don't accept, I'll take that away. See how this one goes. No. Okay, let's see. We'll try this one more time. There we go. Okay, so they got the first round pick. I am never a big fan of trading first round picks, but in a lot of situations, you kind of have to. So there we go. We got that done. Now I just got to fix up the lines, and hopefully this all works out. Okay, everyone, as you can kind of see, I've switched up the lines just a bit here as we've now acquired Drake Batherson from the Ottawa Senators and Mario Ferraro as well. On the forward side, as you can see, I've actually moved Elias Pettersson back up to the first line for Jake DeBrusk. Obviously, that gives that line a +5 combination, so hopefully that works well. Drake Batherson actually slots in the second line pretty well with Philip Hedl and Jake DeBrusk. I've moved Lecker up with Boone Jenner and Jordan Eberle. That now gives them a +2, plus also the second line's a +2 as well. And I've left Höglander and Ogren with Nick Foligno on that bottom line. Now, one thing I think I could try and look for in the trade deadline is, maybe finding that fourth line player. Liam Ogren, I mean, he's 23, no X factor though, and Höglander as well. I think with Höglander, we could possibly find something with an X factor, especially with his overall. I don't know what his trade value is at, but maybe we could be lucky and maybe get something at least out of it. And on the defensive side, don't worry about Filip Hronek being somewhat injured. That's just how the game basically functions. But Mario Ferraro fits well best on the third line with Marcus Pettersson. Now, I know that's kind of a weird spot for him, but that's where he could be. The game actually had him up on the second line, but I'm going to leave him here because Zeev Buinum has that higher overall. I know no X factor there, but I'd rather just put the guy exactly where he's best suited. But again, the problem is I gotta learn how to say his name. He's 86 overall, just no X factor though. So I'm a bit on the fence of what to do with him. He has a good trade value, so at the end of the day, we could possibly use him for some leverage somewhere, maybe a Vince Dunn. But he's still so young, right? We could still keep him around and just see how he works out and works this stuff out. But he's around. Tyler Myers, I mean, I wish I could get rid of him. He does have a modified holy English. He has a modified trade clause. So those are the teams he could go to, as you see on the screen right there. So maybe if I could find a trade with any of those teams, it could work out. But he just fits the best on that line, I think. I mean, he could go down to the third pairing, but I'd rather keep him there. But anyway, so these are our lines for now. I mean, the power play doesn't really change too much, I don't think, but we definitely just upgraded our defensive side of things and our offensive side, so hopefully we can work this out. Now we just got to go to the trade deadline and see what we can do. So our goal right now is to possibly getting another defenseman with an X factor, and as well maybe a fourth liner for Niels Höglander, and hopefully that all works out on our end. And as we enter the trade deadline, the game is asking us, what are we? Now, our owner said we are kind of a conservative buyer, which I kind of do agree with. So we'll go it that way, and we will enter the trade deadline now. So, as I mentioned, I mean, Vince Dunn being right there, man. Like, it's like you take him, but he's 30 years old. That's the only issue I have. But like I said, first of all, I hate this trade deadline screen so much. Like, when there's a trade made, it kicks me out of it. But we're looking for, like, a bottom pairing guy. Something that could work out. And more or less like a right winger. Like a Nyquist wouldn't be that bad. Let me see if he has any X factors at all. Like, I don't know if he does. No, he does not. Okay. But yeah, we're looking for a player that has X factors and that can fit on our bottom pairing. You know, just someone that could hang around on our bottom pairing for us. If I do, I'll get back to us here. Okay, so here's a guy I'm low-key thinking about. Kyle Palmieri for Niels Höglander. Now, I know Kyle Palmieri is 36 years old, but look at those numbers. Look at that overall. Look at that X factor. Plus, look at that scout assessment. Now, not perfect, but it does say fourth line and penalty killing lines. And he's got that 1T. So overall, and he doesn't seem to have us on his no trade clause. So hopefully, I think this could work out. Now, I know Niels Höglander is 26 years old. He's 83 overall, but I think this should work out. We could also give away our fourth round pick here. I think this should be a knockout punch of a trade, especially to bring that veteran presence as well to our team. So I'm going to try and go for this one here. No, they say no. Okay. Maybe let's add another fourth round pick just to maybe even this one out here. Come on. We'll give him the Leafs one because who cares about the Leafs? Come on. Thank you. So there you go. So maybe a bit of an overpay there in my opinion, but I think that kind of had to be done. Now, our next job is defenseman. We have this guy staring right at us, Vince Dunn. I mean, I feel like it just kind of... we're interested for sure, as the game literally says there. But is there anyone else out there that could really be a solid defenseman on our back line? And also, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to find a defenseman here. Like, Nick Leddy again, but... Do they have, like, does San Jose have the, I don't know, I think they just probably traded them here. What does it say at the bottom? Yeah, they just did. They just traded him to the Flyers. Should I try Vince Dunn again? Maybe let's do it. Let's test this one out. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to try and do this. A lot of people might give me garbage for this, but I'm going to try this. Vince Dunn on retained salary, so I don't really know how this one will play out. For Zeev Buynum, I know. But I feel like this needs to work out, okay? I'm going to try this. I don't think it's going to work with this fourth round pick, but I'm going to attempt it. Let's see. No, they rejected. Okay, let me see if I can add a pick here, or maybe we have to go with a third rounder. Okay, boys and girls, this is what we're going to do, okay? Because I added move rare, that didn't work. So I'm going to take Mahura, okay? Just as a bottom feeder. It keeps them over the cat or whatever. I don't care, man. This should work out in our favor. I hope it does. Come on, Seattle. You can't be this greedy after this. Thank you. There we go. Okay, so Zeev Buynum is gone. I understand people are going to be upset about that, but if we want to win with this franchise, I think this is a great move. I know he's 30 years old compared to a guy who's 21, but If we want to have instant success, we have to make those deals. Sometimes you have to do such things, and especially to bring that veteran presence in and a good offensive presence. I actually like this trade. Guys, if you have a problem with it, let me know down below, okay? I mean, I can't do anything now, but man, we kind of had to make that move. But after this, I don't really know what else we could do. I would say, like, oh, we could pick up a backup goalie, but we're going to get Lankinen back later this month, so there's not much else I could do. I mean, we also have a pretty good setup. Like, I truly believe that we're okay. I'm just trying to see here what our team could look like. Because goaltending-wise, we have no issues. Defensively, we have Dunn, Moronic, Orlov, Pedersen, Ferraro, Myers. Like, that's a decent top six in my opinion. Right wingers wise, I think like forwards wise, I think we're solid. I'm gonna be interested to see where is he at? Palmieri fits in. I hope it's not too bad of a spot, but I think that's kind of it for us. I really do not have much else to say about this, to be honest. So maybe we can move on from this and kind of get out of here and hopefully just get the sim out of the way and finish the rest of the season. So that's kind of it for me with the trade deadline, because I think we made the moves that we had to make. Okay, boys and girls, post-trade deadline lineup. As you can see, I've actually kept Liam Ogren in the lineup over Drew O'Connor. Drew O'Connor just, he cannot fit on these lines whatsoever. But all we really did was just improve our third line. It's like the line of like vets. Or Eberle 36, Boone Jenner 33, and we got Palmieri at 36. Listen, we almost have a full lineup of X Factors here. I'm very pleased with how this looks. I really could move a lot of people around here and maybe maximize these line combinations, but you also got to keep players with high overalls up there. And I think this really works out in our favor. And judging by how we played leading up to the deadline, I think we should be in a good spot. Defensively, nothing really changes, but Vince Dunn being on that top pairing should work out. There's not much. Ooh, if I move him down to the second pair with we'll try this out. I know a lot of people might not like that move, but I'm going to try this. I'm going to keep Orlov. We'll move Vince Dunn to that on the second line with Myers. We'll try this out. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't. But we'll try this. But overall, this team did get better. The power play even got better. The penalty kill also got better. So hopefully we can maintain a good record going forward. This is a good team, though. Much better than what we had at the end of last season for sure. So I think now really all I can do is just sim to the end of the year. So we'll probably sim the month of March, see how that one goes, and then we will roll into April and finish off the season. All right, bros and girls, we're just trying to end off the season, but we're not going to be done without any fireworks. I mean, what a terrible end to the month of March. Look at this. Back-to-back losses to the Kings, both on home ice too. Weird schedule. Then we lost to the Mammoth, and then we had once again back-to-back losses to the Oilers. Like, these are two division teams we have to beat. I don't know what's going on here. I really do not know. Our goals against kind of went up. We also had Lankinen come back. That was good, but again, we're having trouble scoring goals here. Brock Besser has only scored like 3 goals this episode. I don't know what's going on. But man, oh man, are we struggling or what? And when it's judging by the standings I'm looking at here on the right, we're in a little bit of a battle. If we lose too much here, we could definitely be out of the playoffs. I mean, I think we have a little bit of a cushion for sure, but with less than 10 games to go, I'd kind of like us to do well here. So what I'll probably do is, I mean, depending on our situation, I will sim for about until we have 3 games left, and then I'll live sim the last 3 games. So we'll do that, and then hopefully we're in the playoffs by that point. Like, come on. Okay, everyone, 2 games left. We do sit in the playoff spot, not by much. Luckily, though, we had those 2 wins, as you see at the top of the screen, against the Ducks and the Sharks. Some big wins for us, but we have 2 big games against the Kraken, who are right below us in the standings, and the Kings, who are the team above us. Listen, this last month and a bit has not been pretty whatsoever. We definitely need some good results here. Man, oh man. So we're going to sim through this game, see how this one goes. For the love of God, we got to win. This is a little tester for the playoffs coming up. This live sim, we'll have it if we make it. So come on, first period action, 3-2. Oh my goodness. Okay, high score game already. Let's see. Second period now. 5-3. Shoot. No, we can't. We cannot miss the playoffs. We cannot miss the playoffs. Come on, period number 3. 7-4 loss. Oh my God. Was Kevin? They took Demko out of the net. Oh my God. Thatcher Demko, man. What the hell are you doing? 4 goals. No, that's Thatcher. Wow. 3 goals on 9 shots. Okay. A little bit stressed now because that's not good for us. We're out of the playoffs. We have to win. If we win, we are in. That's what it looks like to me. But we have to face the LA Kings. Okay. Come on. We need this now. We need this now. Here we go. Period number 1. 1-0. Okay, Elias Pettersson getting a goal. That's pretty good. Those are hard to come by sometimes. Period number 2. 3-1. Vince Dunn on the board. Jordan Eberle on the board. Come on. We just have to finish out this game. Third period now. 4-2 victory. That should be enough. Come on now. Come on. Show me the money. Show me the money. Bang, baby. Yes, sir. We are in the playoffs. Right on. So we will be ending English, man. We will be playing the LA Kings. So that's a big series for us. That's going to be a tough one too. They had 11 more points than what we did. But that's our regular season. So we're in the playoffs again, boys and girls. We are going to save it for the next episode. But man, oh man, this could be very, very interesting. LA had a very, very strong team this season. We'll check out everything here in just a moment. So let me just get to the stats. So we made our way to the playoffs, and our best player had only 67 points. Insert joke there. Brock Besser had 32 goals, 35 assists on the season. And then you go down to Marco Rossi, who had a very, very good season. He didn't score a lot, but he had a lot more assists there with 48, so not bad. Phil Peronic had a big year defensively, 62 points. That's pretty good. Palmieri didn't play the whole year with us, but 59 points for him. Again, Elias Pettersson has not, made me happy. I mean, he actually had a worse year this year than he did last year. I'm not very pleased with how he is played. I don't really know what the goals were for some of the players, but again, it's not that horrible. I mean, defensively though, Mario Ferraro was awful. But what is that? What is his stats with us? Is his stats with us at -14? No, he's a +1. Okay, so that's not bad. I mean, Thatcher Demko played a lot of the year, but again, it's kind of like that. Didn't he not have the same thing last year? Where like last year, yeah, his record was, his stats were good, but his record did not really show that. But I mean, he got us to the playoffs, so not that bad. Kevin Lankinen, who spent much of the season out of the lineup with injury, again, also had very, very, very good stats. And when we go to the standings, I mean, the Oilers clinched the conference. They were the best team in the West. I don't know if they were President's Trophy winners. We'll have to see. But we made the playoffs with 89 points. Again, not really pretty. It wasn't really a pretty clinch, but we kind of held our own all season. We were kind of in the 3-4 spot all season long. So overall, not that bad. I just want to really look at what we were. So on the road, we were just average. We were just an average team everywhere. We were average at home, average on the road. Not that bad, but I think our start of the year helped us out big time. So that was a really big push for us. And no, the Flyers were actually the best team in the league. That is very interesting. The Flyers, interesting. But the Oilers were second best. We'll be playing the 6th best team, and we got to be one of the worst teams that made the playoffs. Actually, a lot of teams that made the playoffs did not have, really low standards this year for the playoffs. I mean, the Flames are the worst team with 88 points, and the 10th, and they're 16. Like, there's 6 teams, 5. There's 6 below 90. That is very interesting. Very interesting to me. Looking at the bottom, man, the Sharks had a bad year. Awful year for the Sharks. Islanders also had a bad year. Sens had a bad year. We kind of capitalized on those teams with trades this year, so I'm very pleased with that. So that's basically the standings there. So we are playing the Kings there, as you see on the left side of your screen. We got the Battle of Alberta on the other side of the bracket. That is awesome. That would be a fantastic series. I mean, we've seen it before, but I'm sure it would just be as good as the others. Chicago playing Nashville on the central side. Utah playing Minnesota. Now, I know Chicago hasn't been in the playoffs recently in real life, but they had been in a lot. They've been in a lot of years prior to that. But the central side of this bracket is pretty, I'll say, uncommon. I don't know why I figure that's a bit uncommon compared to usual, but just those teams that are in there, I'm like, that's a weird part of the bracket for sure. When we go over to the east side, the Caps are playing the Hurricanes in the first round. And then the Flyers are playing the Devils as the wild card team. And the Atlantic Division, we got Buffalo playing Florida. We got Tampa Bay playing Columbus. We've seen that before. Will it end the same way? We don't know. And just before we head out, I'll be checking kind of, the prospect part of this video. Obviously, we have potential and comparisons being done on all the players now, so we can kind of see where these players are. Now, for us, we don't have a lot of picks left. If I go to our draft board now, we only have 4 picks because I have traded away a lot of them for players who are now on our team. So this draft for us will not be the prettiest, let's just say that. But looking at some of the comparisons now, Landon Dupont is now a franchise player, although he'll need an extra year apparently. And again, Corazzini has that X factor. That would be Kames had the X factor. Yeah, that's pretty good. He's NHL ready too. So I don't know. That's a tough pick for number. I mean, I think you kind of have to take number 1 at number 1, but Kames I think is a automatic number 2. Jacobson has all these X factors. Did he? I'm trying to remember if he had those X factors when I had him in my test run. Get out of here! I'm trying to talk to Joseph here. Alexei Joseph is still being scouted. Zetterberg, but I mean, we're not even going to touch the first round, so it's not that important or not to us. But as you can see, we're getting all these players now with their potentials. Some of them we might not even see their potentials because this pool is just so weird. Wow, a lot of busts though. Wow, this pool is just so weird. I mean, during the time when I'm clicking all the buttons to scout all these players, the Quebec Major Junior League does not have a lot of top-end talent, but the Ontario League has a little bit, and then the West has a lot. I mean, look at the United States. The East and the West have no one. The Central has a decent amount. The European leagues actually do have a couple. I think the Swedish League and the Finnish League have a pretty good amount of prospects. So we might not even see later in those later rounds where we are drafting their overalls because of just how good their prospect pool is this year. So we might not see that, but luckily now we are starting to learn where these players are at. Again, like I said, our draft this year will not be as busy considering we only have 4 picks. But for this point of the year, I'm very happy we finally reached that stage where you can kind of see how good these players are. And to just end this one off, this is our progress report page. This is where you kind of can learn where players are at in your lineup. Now, obviously for us, we don't have a lot of prospects on our lineup currently. It's more in the system that we have these players. Now, Braden Coots, who I'm hoping and expecting for him to be on our team next year, will be there. He's at 78 overall. He should be able to grow during the offseason, so we'll see that then. Landon McSwain. Now, this is a big one. I'm very excited for this guy. We drafted him in the last video. He's already 77 overall at the age of 19. He definitely could play on our team. Well, maybe not now, but he definitely could if we got rid of a couple of guys. I don't think he will probably be on our team for another couple of years because he's in the CHL. So if he doesn't make the NHL roster, he's not making our team. So unless he bumps up to like an 82 in the offseason, I don't have the thought of really bringing him up. So that's one of our touted prospects along with Coots that I'm hoping can do some damage. Do we have anyone else that kind of made a jump? Medvedev is up to a 72. Nothing big there. This Villeneuve guy who we drafted is only a 70 at the age of 19. I don't think he'll be probably that big. Wasselin, who was our first round pick, is a 69. He bumped up a bit. But yeah, there's nothing too crazy here. I know we saw the goalies, but goalie wise, yeah, there's nothing too crazy. I mean, I wasn't expecting too much. In this offseason, we're also not going to have a lot of prospects. So hopefully Coots and McSwain can work it out because, man, we might be picking some normal players up around the league if